This is the Spiritual Tea Report with Hathor's Second Out, and today we're getting into what's up with Doja Cat. That is, she has been in the news a great deal, social media, because she's coming out with an album soon. I believe it's called Scarlet, and it's coming out September the 22nd, very very soon. And it's causing an uprise with her fans, with a lot of people, especially I'm sure Christians, because Doja has this ongoing character, even in the video Demons and Paint the Town Red. She has this Scarlet figure, and she's covered in blood, and she's naked. She's naked and covered in blood. Have you seen The Wheel of Time? Wheel of Time is on Amazon Prime, and there was a figure there. I don't want to spoil it, but if you watch that, there's somebody who's similar to what Doja Cat is doing with the blood covering her, and I believe she's supposed to be one of the evil dark ones, wife, or her, or greatest demon or something. So I do think maybe she's emulating Lilith a bit, Doja Cat, that is. So I just wanted to kind of like get into her progressed soul contract. I do soul contracts, but I could also progress them to the year in which the present year is 2023. And for Doja, that puts her in the year of 4. So she's going to be dealing with a lot of structure, a lot of scheduling, because she's about to go on the tour for the Scarlet album to push that. And it's major for her. This is major for her because also Doja is in her Santa's return. So I know I talk about this a lot. I think Keke Palmer just came out of hers. I did a YouTube about Keke Palmer. But this year, Doja is still 28. She'll be 28, so she's still going to be in her Santa's return. When you're in your Santa's return, you go through a lot of difficulties with growing up and coming of age. And what we're going to go into is her progressed soul contract, which is really showing Doja is a person that will rebel. She'll rebel against everybody and what they're doing and what they think of her. And we're going to get into her birthday. So her birthday is October the 21st, 1995. That breaks down to 136, but this year she is 134. When you're dealing with a birthday, you break it down. In my numerology, you break it down with the moon as how she nurtures herself. The sun of the day is how she thinks, and then how she is naturally on the earth is the year. The year is always changing. That's why I said when she was born, she was in the year of 6. But now she is in the year of 4 because the year is always changing. Earth is always going round, right? So she's 136, but this year she's 134. So let's break that down. Doja nurtures herself with really knowing who she is. She's really standing on her identity. And that's natural at her. There's nothing demonic. It's just that, Doja knows what she knows, and she's going to battle against the world. Just a little tidbit more about her birthday, and that one is that she's distinctly different from everybody that's around her, her personality and her views. So this Scarlet character, the demon, even the video Demons, if you've seen that, or even listen to the lyrics, not just looking at the image. If you listen to the lyrics, she's asking you how her demons look like. She went through a lot of trouble. She went through a lot of hurt with the fans, and the fans kind of like turning against her because of her identity. Who she identifies herself as is probably not what she believes her fans want her to be. That's why she was saying that the album was a money grab, and those other albums were just sucked. In her perspective, she was just doing what they wanted her to do, what the music industry and the people above her want her to do. And I can see that to be very true, because somebody like Doja could come so very engrossed in freeing herself from the negative values of her parents, society, and even social circles. So that could even be people that she's actually, entertaining, people in the entertainment industry. You hear that actually in her lyrics. And it's almost like the crazy part is that Doja could spend lifetimes refusing what she doesn't believe. And it could come like in a form of Buddhist detachment, where she's detaching so much that it's almost like she doesn't give a fuck. So she has this identity of really standing on who she is and really not caring. She loves to talk. She will express herself. You will know who she is, but she's definitely a person. Yeah, she's gonna stand on her identity. And just to go back to astrology, because soul contracts are very much in sync with astrology. She's a Libra, Scorpio cusp. People may not believe in the cusp and just think that she's just straight up Libra, but she's on that 21st just before it turns over to the 22nd. So she's on that cusp of Scorpio. And I could see that darkness in her. Even in her videos, you see the bit of the darkness. You see the Scorpio energy with her. So I do believe she's for sure on that cusp. Going back to her birthday, we went over her identity, but how she thinks with this 3. So this 3 can be very energetic. This is what almost starts to make her be emotional, where her strong emotional drive can lead to trouble. Small things bother her. Even if you think she doesn't care, Doja cares to a certain extent. Doja gives a fuck. She does give a fuck. But there's that part. I think it's more of the Libra don't give a fuck and the Scorpio cares. I'm a Scorpio, so I do know that part where you could put up the front that you don't give a damn, but you really do. But this is the thing. It's more so that people could get under her skin and then she shrugs it off, but the people she loves, whoever she's in love with, her loved ones can really get to her. Not more so the public really bothers her. Is her loved ones, her relationships. And we're going to get into her chart, because I'm seeing in her progress chart some things going on possibly in her love life. So she has this energeticness with her where she can get moody, she can get detached, or even with her energy with the loved one, or in romantic relationships, she can get attached and not know how to detach from her lover even when they're toxic. So that is also pushing into what we're going to talk about with her boyfriend, Jay Cyrus, this comedian, social media comedian guy. And then her earth, the year, she's a 6. So she can get she could be very social, but there's some things where some psychological things can be in there. So we are seeing that, I wouldn't say Doja's crazy, but there is some psychological things that can make her very mental, make her almost like an overthinker about things. And then with the 6, it also makes her very highly complex in relationships. And it's just, she can have a very difficult time in her personal life, because Doja has this high strongness with her. She can be very powerful and dominant. But this arouses a negative energy. This arouses negative feelings with people around her. And it could go either ways. Either they really, really have disdain for her and her views, or they could actually become jealous of her. And she said that also in some of her songs, is that, she feels like at times, people come for her and she's ready for it, because she really does love people. She really wants to be around people. And let's get into her chart. So getting into her chart at the beginning of the year, this is where I'm seeing she's going through something where she's loving life and she's loving the people, but there's also this other reflection going on where she's trying to understand her mental. She's trying to understand this person that she's with. So this could possibly be Jay Cyrus at the beginning. Although we seen him, a little bit further into summertime being around her, there's this part of her at the beginning of the year that it could get a bit psychological for her. But on the other side, she is really feeling like she's enjoying peace. So it's almost like she's almost doing the shadow work. Not almost, she's definitely doing the shadow work with the people in her psyche. And then she expands out into this light part in her chart. Because we're dealing with darkness and light. I'm seeing, her really enjoying people and, the good times and being social. But then as you get more further into the year, we're seeing Doja need some separation. It's almost like it's too much energy. And this is an interesting thing going on with Doja's chart with her shadow. She has her shadow work, but she also has her internal hell, or the part of her that where she goes into her mind. And you see that this is always in reflection. They're the same numbers. The same numbers is shown with her where it's this reflection of I'm trying to understand my mind. I'm trying to understand what's happened to me in the past. So she's definitely going through it with this Saturn's return, because they want her to reflect back on her early 20s to really understand herself as what is she wanting really in life, and what is she going to embark on once she becomes a true adult to the universe. Because right now she's still like a pre-adult. So we got to kind of give some leeway for Doja, because Doja is really going through a major transition. And you see that even at the ending of her chart, she goes through some transitions. But at the beginning of the year and mid-year, we're seeing where there's a lot of psychological things, a lot of energy going on around her. And this is natural. We call people crazy, but everybody has certain times where it could get a bit hectic. It could be a bit chaotic. But guess what she does? Once she comes out of this energy of it feeling really chaotic for her, Doja goes into this part where she becomes very artistic. She's getting really creative. And that's where you probably even seen how Scarlet came about. I also see it as a rebirth, not just something that is evil and grim. Is a way of showing you another side of her. And just coming out of that energy, like I said, she gets creative. She really gets in her bag, and she really starts stepping into her identity. This is Doja. This is Doja for real, really understanding herself and not being held back. And then as we get more into the end of the year, she's going to be, dealing with more people. She's going on her tour. She's making her money. And then most of the year, you see her transitioning. She's really going through some type of spiritual transitioning in her mind. And that's some of her shadow work, is to spiritually transition and become this person that she needs to be. Because by the end of the year, she's definitely traveling a great deal. She needs some time to herself. She's always in reflection. So she's always in reflection. She does like to have fun, and she's going to have fun this year. But she can be very serious. She can be very serious, but most of her hypertension, or that activity in her mind is going, because she has that Libra where they're all... You ever watched a Libra? Oh my goodness. My niece is a Libra, and I just remember her having the hardest time trying to chew some cat food. Just cat food. So, their minds are always juggling that mayat, those scales are always trying to figure out what's the best choice. But then she is on that cusp, so she has this little mix of Scorpio in her, this dark, I'm not even gonna say dark entity. Let me stop throwing shade on Scorpios. I love Scorpios. I am a Scorpio, but we do have this darkness that we had to keep under wraps, right? So she has that with her, and it's okay. It's okay. It can be misunderstood, though. It can be misunderstood, and Doja probably feels like she's misunderstood. But right now, even her feminine energy and her masculine energy are 8-8. So she's about her money this year as well. So she's going to make her money. She's going to travel, and she's definitely going to shock the world. She's already been doing that and really bothering her fans because, she spoke trash on her albums. But not only that, she's really bothering her fans because she's with this guy, Jay Cyrus, and a lot of people don't like him. And I guess the reason why they don't like him is because he's, did some manipulation to young girls on Vine or whatever that is. I'm telling my age. But anyway, she is with this guy, Jay Cyrus. He's a media, he's a social media comedian. And they've been spotted out. I don't know if y'all seen the infamous pictures. I believe they were in Mexico on a yacht, and they both have on the orange matching outfits. And then a lot of people have seen them back and forth being spotted in New York. They were seen together. Jay Cyrus is 36 years old. That means that he's in this type of hermit type of stage with his life. And of course, he is a Pisces. His birthday is February the 19th, 1987. His birthday breaks down to 217, right? So them together, this is, I will say, unfortunately, this relationship is karmic to an extent. Like, it was definitely predestined. Looking at their numbers is crazy because I'm seeing that even in their childhood they kind of went through some similar things, but in opposite ways, where hers was more about her identity, his was more about duality and trying to understand his identity. And she's always trying to find her place in her family and understand her identity at a very young age. So I'm sure there are some things that they come together and really understand. But I'm also seeing that this is a karmic relationship, predestined to be together. And we're going to go into their moon, sun, and earth. So their moon, sun, and earth combined together, combine this energy of high energy and then a lower energy that they have to ground. So there's a higher energy when they come together that could be pretty good. And then they have a lower energy that can kind of be, bad and hinder the relationship. So on the higher energy of them nurturing each other, there is energy, like energetic energy, 3. So that it could be a very emotional roller coaster at times, but there could be a lot of love. And Doja thrives from this. Somehow this Pisces makes her feel whole, and she feels more in control of her life when he's around. Like, he adds to her identity. And it's just about how he talks to her. And of course, Doja is humorous. You've seen her in the cow outfit with the thing stuck up her nose. And Jay Cyrus is a comedian, so I'm sure he makes her laugh. There's some humor going on where he enjoys speaking and talking with her. But there's this thing with them, with these ones. And when I see a whole bunch of ones in love and compatibility, when I'm doing love and compatibility readings for people, those ones can signify that there's too much of people being selfish in the relationship. Or it has to be understood that these people have some type of boss-like energy, or they really want you to get them. They really want you to know them. And if you don't know them and don't get them, there could be problems in a relationship. And I see that is a big thing for Jay Cyrus, that he really wants her to respect his identity, respect him as an individual. And that could be some conflict, because then we're getting into how they think their son, they need to be in some type of business together or working out a schedule where they do come together. There needs to be some definitely organized way of how they communicate, how they think together, because this can cause the duality. And the duality is still a major factor of this duality, is that these are two individuals coming from two different places of life. And that's where the conflict can actually kind of, happen with them. But when I see fours, I also see family, I see structure. I still see that this was something that they came back around and had to do it again and figure out how are they going to be structured, how are they going to be together, because even the earth, how they naturally are, they need this structure, so they would need a family. And I don't think Doja is ready for the children in the family just yet. She's still trying to figure out herself. And I'm just seeing so much of these ones that are saying that there could be a potential clash because of who gets to be boss and who is going to have kind of the control of things. And Doja will suffer. They said there was something where possibly around July 2023 that Doja was experiencing some type of emotional abuse. And I could possibly, not even possibly, I could see that. I could see some emotional abuse going on from Jay Cyrus with these numbers, because maybe somebody wasn't respecting each other's individuality or personality. I'm hoping that's not going on, but it definitely could happen, because we're looking at 2023 with these two progressed, that there could be some separation. And the main separation is that Doja's going on tour. So this could be really hard on the relationship. And then Jay Cyrus is trying to get more into getting more creative. So that may be doing more content, speaking more, going and doing this comedian thing, which could cause the separation if they don't work out a schedule. So the schedule is key. It's usually in relationships there are key things that need to happen in the relationship to keep it together. And then I also see this reoccurring one in the relationship where the need for identity and being individuals could be very hard on them, where they want to actually split because they don't get each other at times. So Pisces do that kind of like flip-flop, and Libra is, the two scales. So we're still dealing with duality. We're still dealing with 2 and 2. So it's almost like 4 people in the relationship sometimes when you're dealing with a Libra and Pisces relationship, because you're dealing with the duality and the split in the zodiac signs. But all in all, we know that Doja is going to be Doja, and Doja is just born that way. Her birthday is the recipe for being different, being standing out, going against status quo. She can make a lifelong job at telling people how she is so different from everybody else, and pushing out her beliefs regardless if anybody gives a fuck or not. And I really think, in my heart of hearts, this is a rebellion for Doja. It's not, I guess, because everybody thinks it's evil, she's gonna go with it. She's gonna go with this energy and say, yeah, it's evil. It's not just Illuminati shit or anything like that. It is Doja being Doja. And just know I can do this for you too. If you like a soul contract or a progressed contract, I do love and compatibility as well for my clients. We do these sessions. I call them spiritual sessions. You can contact me on Hathorians on Facebook, IG, and TikTok. Why am my brain failing me like that, Lord? Anyway, it should be showing up on the screen, but that's where I'm at. If you type in Hathorians, you can definitely find me. You can schedule a reading with me, and you can inbox me, and we can definitely figure out what is the best session for you. Stay tuned to more of the Spiritual Tea Report. I should be coming up with something else very, very soon. Love, like, and subscribe. Peace.